Hey everybody, it's Chris from Hotel Nerd. Uh, I'm sure you guys will probably see this in the Hotel Nerd Network Facebook page, and I put a link on Twitter and tagged Christian Harloff in this as well. This isn't a solemn video. This isn't a bad news video. This is a video that I initially started writing an article, and the article turned into a letter. And the letter is addressed to all of you. And it addresses a question that I've been asked a lot. And that is, why did you get into podcasting? Why are you a podcaster? And with us going to be interviewing their Chronic Cure this evening, it's now currently 2:45 in the morning here in Pennsylvania as I'm recording this. I wanted you to hear it from me. I wanted you to hear it in my voice. And I'll just read it because I think it will have more weight and you'll feel it more sincerely coming from me directly, other than just reading words on a page. So with that, the letter in question can be found on the Hotel Nerd Network Facebook page at facebook.com/Hotel Nerd. And I'm just going to start reading it here. Back in high school, you get asked by your teachers, where do you see yourself by 30? Most students do not have a true answer for these questions. Some do, but most don't. There's no shame in that whatsoever. For me, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to follow my first love, meteorology. Fast forward a few years, just fresh out of high school, working in the dead-end fast food job market. Not looking for anything in the moment other than how to pay my bills and build my credit for the future. Slowly, my dream of becoming a professional meteorologist slipped away. It remained my passion, and still to this day, I am a proud amateur storm chaser in my local area. Through my 20s, I found myself finding my best friend and the love of my life, and was soon blessed with the birth of my soon-to-be stepson. And in a few short years, he would become my adopted son. Within this small amount of time, my now fiance became my wife, and we welcomed the birth of 2 more wonderful children with 1 boy and girl, respectively. Shortly after the birth of our daughter, I finally decided that it was time to go back to college, albeit late. I went into school with the mindset that I was going to drive towards developing video games, and hence took up the major of network administration and security to open the doors into the video game industry. Now, let us go back to the first line in this article and refer to the question of, where do you see yourself by 30? As you can tell by my life's journey, it took me from where I knew I wanted to go and be to where I ended up at the moment. And I was not quite 30 by this point. College was challenging, but nowhere near what was coming. But before we get to that, let us turn back the clock a few years to that started me down the path that I am on now. In the winter of 2014, the DC versus Marvel war was in full swing, and as a lover of everything comics, this frustrated me to no end. So, with the help of my wife and one of my closest high school friends, we founded Everything Comics and More to try to be a refuge from the DC versus Marvel drama. From there, I found many more that thought like me and were tired of the battle that seemed to never have ended. It was here that I found my best online friend and current co-host of the Hotel Nerd podcast. We made one failed attempt at making a YouTube channel and then went back to just running a Facebook group. My wife was 100% into this endeavor, even if she did not quite understand what it was all about. In early 2016, I was running a stable and self-sustaining Facebook group, now under the acronym of ECAM, which stands for Everything Comics and More, which was an evolutionary step from Everything Comics and More. This is when I went and entered college. At this point, I was working in retail, raising 3 children with a wonderful and loving wife, and feeling more alive and loved than I had ever thought possible. Then in early 2017, the beginning of the darkest and most difficult time of my life began. My wife got sick. Multiple hospitals for a year and a half and no answers until it was too late. The most ironic thing is that she died on May 4th, 2018, Star Wars Day. And she was just coming around to warming up to and understanding the franchise. During this time, I also acquired my Bachelor of Science in Network Administration and Securities a few months prior to her death, and she got to see me walk across the stage, which was the proudest moment of my life, seeing her smile while in pain, even though she would never tell you so. Fast forward to November 2019, and in between a state of being in depression from my wife's passing, the stress of being a single parent of 3 hurting children, and the frustration of being stuck in central Pennsylvania with no real options to use my degree, I was watching YouTube and I heard this man, of whom I highly respect, risking everything for a vision of his. This man is Christian Harloff. And in the vision he had and still has in SCN and the Movie Trivia Schmodown. My first thought is why? Why leave a known commodity and an employer with 2 extraordinary successful shows in Jedi Council and Collider Live? Is he insane or is he a visionary? Then Collider shuttered all their YouTube shows at the beginning of 2020, and this was the last trigger that spurred me into action. Christian, if you read or you watch this, you have inspired so many people to venture out of their comfort zone and take a risk. That is exactly what we here at Hotel Nerd Network plan on building on. Never settle, never take a step, and always take a step out of your comfort zone is the only way to make progress in this field of podcasting. Forming Hotel Nerd out of eCam and making an impact on SEN Live has been the greatest gift that you could have ever given to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, now almost 3 a.m. in the morning, and I should be going to bed and getting ready for my first big interview with a great person behind the scenes in the Movie Trivia Schmodown, Nerd Chronic. I will end this one more time asking that age-old question from high school. Where do you see yourself by 30? Clearly, my answer is far from where I am now. And even with that all being said, I would not change a thing, even the losses, because it brought me to where I am today and doing what I am doing today. I am looking forward to walking this path and growing bigger as time goes on. For anyone that reads this, Your destination may change with time, but enjoy the ride. And more so than anything, enjoy and love the ones that are on the ride with you. Never give up. And if you're going through hell, just keep going. Sincerely, Christopher, the Hotel Nerd, Griner. That was a rough one for me to read. That was a rough one for me to write. I'm going to start writing articles. This started as an article. It became a letter. And I believe that it became a letter because it had to be a letter. It had to be a letter to all you. It had to be a letter to my inspiration, Christian Harloff, John Schnepp, Coy John Drew, Mark Riley, everybody at SEN, just too many people to name. You all stepped out of your comfort zone. Some of you were forced to step out of your comfort zone because of what happened at Collider. Some of you went out of your comfort zone just because you could. I am stepping out of my comfort zone by making this podcast. I am stepping out of my comfort zone by making this content. I'm loving every minute of it. It's stressful, but it's fun. I'm using my degree. I'm using the knowledge that I have been given through college. I do not feel like I wasted 2 years of my life. And I know my wife would be backing me 110% the entire way. So thank you to the fans. Thank you to my inspirations. Christian, you in particular, because you were the first stepping stone that brought me back to being the lovable nerd that I am today. So, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the letter. I hope you watch this video. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, find the Hotel Nerd podcast on your audio services. We're now on iHeartRadio. Finally, we landed that one. So give us a like, give us a share, give us a rate. I'm not sure exactly how they do it. I know Apple does the rating system. Everything you do helps. Contribute on anchor.fm. There's a place where you can contribute to helping us get more equipment, better equipment to make better quality content. So with that, I will end this video. I'm getting ready to go to bed. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm tired from a full shift at work and getting ready for the next day. Tomorrow's going to be packed. We've got 2 videos going up on the channel, and I'm going to be on a Harry Potter podcast on the Merc with a Movie Blog podcast feed. So tomorrow's going to be a stacked day. So I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe, follow the rules, follow the quarantine. We'll see you tomorrow.